President Olusegun Obasanjo has asked Nigerian youth not to abandon the country to the old generations of leaders. Obasanjo asked the youth to hold their future in their hands with a firm belief that today is our day, as against the famous glitch that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, saying tomorrow may never come, and which is true. I could remember, was it 2018 or so, when Buhari launched this not young to rule, and in 2019 he told them, oh yes, so this not too young to rule that will just launched, just allow me, when after, maybe after my tenure in 2023, you can come and run. And again, the same Buhari now is telling us that Nigerians should support Tinubu. So that's not too young to rule. They just did it for formality's sake, and they were using it to deceive people. Oh, can't you see that Buhari is interested in the youth? For where, if he was really interested in the youth, why did he tell them not to challenge him in 2019 and 2023, that he said the youth can come up? Is now they want to settle, they want to reward Tinubu for that. Just like Obasanjo has said that the leader of tomorrow, I believe youth are the leader of tomorrow, will never come. That it has to be now. I don't know what you think about that. That saying that it will never come. It will never come. He claimed some corrupt leaders would destroy the so-called tomorrow if the younger generation failed to rise and take the future in their hands. In contrast, Obasanjo was a tight-fist and sit-tight leader who ruled Nigeria from 1999 to 2007 and wanted a third-term bid, but it was prevented by the National Assembly, opinion leaders, and public outcries. His government, marked by corruption, political killings, and lack of accountability, laid the foundation of the economic crisis and political instability which the country is still grappling with 23 years later. The former president spoke on Saturday during a special interview with former Super Eagles star Segun Odegbemi in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Fielding questions from Odegbemi, Obasanjo said, "My advice for Nigerian youth is never let anybody tell you that you are the leaders of tomorrow. If you wait for tomorrow before you take over leadership, that tomorrow may not come. They will destroy it. This is the time. Youth, get up and make it happen." Well, can we say that Obasanjo is saying this because he's not even in the race? Because believe you me, if Obasanjo was to be in the race, I'm not sure he's going to be speaking like this. He will not be speaking like this because he's just neutral. He's not. He's either fighting. He's not even fighting for anything. So you don't expect him to. You don't expect him to say otherwise. That is the way I see it. When they are in power, they don't speak like this. But they all know the truth. They all know the truth. Well, thank you. We are doing everything possible to make sure we, the youth, do not miss it. This 2023 general election coming up in February. Nigeria youth, they are not ready now. They are busy for APC and PDP and Labour Party. People that are still shouting Jagaban everywhere, their own future will start when Jagaban retire from politics. They have been so enslaved that they don't even have their own minds and initiative anymore. As far as they are concerned, the tip they are getting from their godfather is enough for their own future. How can a man or woman in his early 30s and 40s and even early 50s be clamoring for a man in his late 80s to become his leader? It can't be. Ordinary, completely hypnotized. Hope Baba Obasanjo is obedient, although he is right. However, the obedient youth of this country have given Peter Obi the job to lead them as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Enough of voting those who don't follow doctor descriptions. It is advisable to drink water while sitting and not standing. Can you imagine? It is better to drink water while sitting than not standing. Well, no, we Nigerian youth only support Tinubu. Is our defender, our mentor, our lover of our progress, lover of your progress. we are going to vote for him massively. Only Tinubu can take Nigeria and Nigerians to promised land. Well, this one is a use. This is exactly what somebody was saying. That they are not even ready. You as a young person that you're supposed to be coordinating your father, because your father is weak. Your father is weak. You now, you are matured enough to now say, Father, you go and sit down. Yes, all the knowledge, all the whatever you have inculcated in me, let me begin to help you. You can't even walk to your grave. That is how it ought to be. But these ones are lazy. They cannot even think for themselves. It's just unfortunate. In economics, the theory of long run, all humans are dead. Nobody can see tomorrow except today, but Tinubu is the next president. It has been written except we rewrite. Can you imagine all these people? They are finished. You are not ashamed of yourself. Bringing and supporting an ancestor to rule by next year is not your mate. Is it not your mates are contesting for election in Western country? You are not ashamed of yourself. Your mates are president and chancellor in Western world. Austria president is 31 years old, and while France president is 44 years old, and your own in Nigeria, you are here in Nigeria fooling yourself by supporting an ancestor. They will never learn. You know that all those ones that they did not even grow up. All these are most of the youth are really maybe in their 30s. They are seeing their parents, and so they are the ones, they are used to this kind of a thing. But some people do not even believe in themselves because they don't suffer. So anywhere we belle face, so they just want to go through that route. So you are not going to blame them. You are not going to blame them because they have been living on parents feeding them, so they don't see anything wrong with it. For the records, Peter Obi improved the security architecture of Anambra State. He made Anambra State the best in education. Ah, no, they don't want to hear that. They will begin to tell you what has he done in terms of education. And education is the best stroke of any development and success of any country. But see what is happening now. See what is happening after 5 months. The first time that ASU went on strike, how many months did they stay before they called it off? Now they are on it again, going to 6 months. Buhari did not see anything wrong with that. It is now later one now that is saying that he is calling on ASU, or I don't know the body that is calling, giving them 2 weeks. And he has even come out to say, oh, they didn't give them 2 weeks because they don't even understand what education means. And even if they understand what education means, if you want to say they really understand, that means it is wickedness because their own children are well read and they did it in a place where things are working well, but they cannot do the same thing. Somebody who loves foreign things, is that the person that you think that will that will make things work for ordinary citizens in Nigeria? No, it's not so. The very man that destroyed Nigeria political landscape by declaring an election as do or die affair, but the mentally enslaved ones will still prefer their grandfather to be their president. God forbid.